So welcome everyone to our April Frequency Soul Collective Blitz, Business Blitz. It's really exciting to have you guys here. And for those of you watching the replay, I know there was quite a few that couldn't jump on tonight. But that's probably the first thing to mention is the importance of showing up for yourself in your business, not only to these calls every Thursday night for the month of April, but also turn your business daily. So totally get that people have got stuff on, so don't stress about that. But if it's in your diary and you don't always have something on standard, of a Thursday night, it would be really great to have everyone on the call, because when you're on the call and you're connecting with the community, it's really going to fire you up over that time and you might get tips and tricks, and it's good to be live to be able to ask questions and all of the things. So that's why I really recommend just jumping in when we do these blitzes. Some companies do 90-day blitzes. We are not going to do that. We just want to do a 30-day solid blitz on your business, which then will start that momentum for you to be able to continue on. Because that's one thing I think sometimes is when we work on our own, we can get into procrastination. Some things don't seem so important to do, or we go to sit down to do some work for an hour and the phone rings, or we look at, we go to do some work on Facebook and all of a sudden an hour's gone by and you've bought like $100 worth of hair growing shampoo and conditioner or something. Might be my own personal experience, but it might not be. So it's just really cool to be on a call with everyone. We are also going to do some action calls. So where we actually get on a call together and actually just work, because that's always a good thing too, to be able to run things by each other, all of those sorts of things. So first and foremost, welcome for those of you who I haven't met before. My name is Beck McQuilty. I am located on the southwest side of Brisbane in Queensland. I have been involved with Solex for I think it's about 2 and a bit years now. I think it's like 3 years in September, maybe, that we officially got sort of launched and off the ground. Loving the journey and really loving more so connecting with people who are really like-minded, and, helping people to get to their goals is really important to me as well. So if anyone needs advice or there's anything that you need, please know that we are here to support you as a collective. I want to talk to you tonight also about, your goals and why you're here and what it is that you're wanting from Solex. And I think that's a really important thing to listen to think about, and for others to listen to as well. And that's why we are reading or listening to the book 10X by Grant Cardone. It's because we are so conditioned in life to put a lid and a limit on what we want. And when you listen to Grant Cardone and people like that, it makes you realize that we really have abundance, and the world is our oyster, right? It's only us who put a limit on ourselves. So, if you think, oh, well, I'd be grateful to get to a bronze level or $200 a month or whatever that looks like, then why not double that? Because, or why not 10X it, like Grant Cardone says? Because when you do that, all that you're doing is making sure that you're doing the work to be able to get to that 10X. Now, if you 10X it and you fall short, I can guarantee you that you're still going to have achieved more than if you've set yourself a really low goal. I would prefer to fall short of a really high goal than blitz something super simple, because you don't really feel so much like you've achieved all that much. And you will achieve so much more when you really do set your goals higher. So I would love for you to please feel free to unmute yourself. I would love for everyone just to really feel into and think about why you chose to join this group in April. The reason I chose to run it is because many of you may know, some of you may not. I have been out of my business for 3 months due to a family tragedy that we had. I was given no choice but to basically drop everything and look after everything to do with my family. And there came a point for me that I was so consumed over here with everything that I was doing outside of my business. There had to come a time where I had to start devoting my attention back, because, like anything, whether it's this style of business or anything else, if you take your focus off it, if you take your energy out of it for long enough, it'll start to go the other way. And we don't want that. And so it's really important to notice your energy in your business, particularly in this style of business, because what you do in your business, your people are going to do. So if you don't show up, if you're late, if you don't bother, if you think, oh, well, whatever, you will tend to attract people like that. And when you lose that momentum, when you lose that that fire in your belly, you will tend to see a lot of the time your team can go that way as well. So, as much as I was very lucky that when I stepped out of the business, it certainly wasn't because I actually didn't have the energy, but it certainly wasn't a choice. But it was great that everybody else in the leadership team sort of stepped up in a leadership perspective. But that probably took their focus a little bit off their own building as well. So, when you're building a business like this, it's really important that at least 70 to 80% of your time is spent on you building your business for you, and 20 to 30% of your time is spent with other people. You can't do it the other way around, because if you do, all of a sudden you get busy doing non-income producing activities for your own business. It might be income producing activity if you're on three-way calls or you're doing presentations for someone, which I'm not saying don't not do that, but I'm just saying being very mindful how you balance your time out, because you really need, at this stage of the game, for all of us, no matter who it is or what level you're at, we all need to solidly be building and focusing on our own growth within our business first. And also, to your team, as you grow, will watch you as well. And you will also attract the type of people into your business of the that will match your energy. So be really careful of that. Don't worry, some will sneak through sometimes that just almost like energetically smack you in the face, right? I'm sure you've had people come into your life like that, whether it be in this business or outside. And can I tell you, like, don't be so disappointed with that. I used to be like, oh my gosh, it drive me crazy. Now I actually see it as a blessing. And I see it that way because it shows me what I don't want in my business and the energy that I don't want to bring into our collective. So I can assure you, energy like that doesn't stay around for too long, I promise you. But just know that, when you're dealing with people, that can happen. So my goal was to get back into my business, start some really solid action, and just getting back into daily habits, because that's what's going to grow your business. For those of you who may have read the book Atomic Habits, has anybody read that book or listened to that book? Yep, Bronnie has. Yep, it's a really great book as well. So for those of you who have already listened to 10X by Grant Cardone, if you haven't listened to Atomic Habits, I can't remember who it's by, but it's a super famous book. If you just type in Atomic Habits, you'll find it. It's free on Spotify. It's really great because it talks about exactly that. And it's about that 1% change, that bit by bit by bit, I call them micro changes. You micro change things and add things into your daily habits. And over a period of a year, you will make huge changes. I was talking to a QLA today about how he has such a huge ability. He's got a huge network, and it's not being maximized at the moment. And I said, if you just committed 1 solid hour of power a day to your business, it would change everything financially for you. And so, if you don't have a huge amount of capacity from a time perspective, some of you may have full-time jobs. I had a full-time job when I started this business. And within, I don't actually know how long it was. Well, maybe a year, just over a year, I set myself free and was able to start doing my own business at home and being able to do this as well. So there's a lot that you can do with the focus that you have. So if I was able to do it with a full-time job and my daughter was homeschooled by my husband and myself at the time, with help of friends and all sorts of other things going on in our lives, I can assure you, you will always find time to what you put priority to. Would you agree? Yeah, for sure. So the reason that this is important for me is that I want to do something really massive, and that's to open a quantum wellness center. Now, I hesitate when I say that because it's so big. Like, I hesitate to go, do I really want to put it out there? But I do. And I need to make sure I'm really well financially backed to do that. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. And I've got a couple of really cool passion projects that I'm actually not really interested in making money from, but I really want to do them because they really, really light me up. And that's about empowering women and creating safe spaces for women to come and just be and be seen, and to know that they are loved, and to experience kindness and joy and lots of things, because there are a lot of women out there that don't experience those things. And I want to be a person to be able to bring some joy and some assistance to them. So I would like to free myself financially a little bit more to be able to do that. So this is the start of, why I kind of set this group up. We won't do it every month, but there'll be definitely months where people are just ready to run, because you can't blitz and run like this 12 months of the year. You just can't. You do need to give yourself a little bit of grace. I'm not suggesting that you have time off, but there's always a season for really high, solid action. And then there's a season for sort of just stepping back just a smidge to allow yourself to breathe, because you don't want to get it to a point where you're not enjoying it anymore because you feel like it's all too much or you're too overwhelmed. Nobody wants to be in that position, and we certainly don't want to create that culture with what we do. So would anyone like to share what their goals are, whether it be with Solex in general or whether it be for this month specifically? Amanda's unmuted, so I'm going to throw her in the
Okay. Hi, everyone. I forgot to look at my goals, so I was just looking at them then. I mean, I kind of know what they are. I guess, yeah, getting back into having some memento. I mean, I have a full-time business as it is, and I'm trying to squeeze this in, and it's challenging to fit it all in. And I guess, this is taking over a lot because I'm in the leadership group, and also just doing another side project that I've got going with some other QLAs that is yet to be announced. We'll talk about that one later, but that's a goal. Yeah, so my goals are I'm still trying to get to platinum. I'm gold, and I wanted to get to platinum last year, but it didn't happen. So I'm looking for some team members in my team who want to grow their businesses to help me get to that. So I'm happy Patrice is here. And I know Sandra signed up in my team, and Belle and Danielle, one of my new ones. So I've got a few team players on this Blitz this month. So that's really great. So again, if I can support my team in any way, let me know. I also would love to win the Mexico trip. So I'm like I think I'm up to number 5. So I've got a bit of way to go. So yeah, I've kind of got to this stage organically without trying too hard. So now I have to really try, and I need training, and so I'm here.
Yes, I love that. And do you know what I really love about that too is that you've looked at your goals and you're like, hey, let's remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, and know that you're on the right track and how far you've actually got actually without as much intention as what you have now.
I know,
So
I feel like I've got more attention now and it's not happening to when it all just happened for me.
yeah. Yeah. But, I think in a group like this, the energy will just really raise up. It's that opportunity to get excited again and see what other people are doing that's working for them. And I think that the collective energy will really start to shift things for everybody. And that's where listening to your mind sync every day is really, really important. I actually haven't listened to mine this morning. I was like, why didn't I listen to mine this morning? Oh my gosh, I got up at stupid o'clock to go to a networking meeting that I had to host. So that's my excuse. But I'm listening to mine once a day. So I will 100% be listening to it before I go to bed. So I really encourage you. Mind sync will change everything for you. And in fact, I was talking to a QLA today who was telling me there's a book, I can't remember what he said it was called, but it's basically about this man who basically said these affirmations about losing weight to himself, and he recorded himself and he listened to it over and over, and it was that intention that he was setting, and he actually lost some huge amount of weight from it and is super healthy now and all of the things. So it works. I can assure you it works. I've seen QLAs in our business who do it solidly, that their mindset has completely changed. And I know that fear comes into it sometimes, that fear, whether it's a fear of judgment, whether it's a fear of, failure, whatever that is. But what I say to you is, who cares? Who cares if you fall short? We don't care. If you give it your all and you fall short of your goal, you're here. Like, you have shown up. It doesn't matter that you fall short, because you're here, you're giving it the energy, and the universe will provide just based on that, I can assure you. And Amanda was talking about the Mexico trip. I think that is a great goal. And can I tell you, it is super achievable for every single one of you. I've just come back from Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. And let me tell you, I worked towards that goal of Punta Cana from the day it was announced. And I am like a dog with a bone. I am not missing out on this. But guess what? I'm a strategist. And so when they announced it, they've got the numbers and I've got spreadsheets and I've got all sorts of stuff. And I was on track like you wouldn't believe, until it was 2 months before the ending of qualification. And I realized I'd been calculating it wrong. And not only was I nowhere near qualifying, I was actually like minus. Like, how does someone actually get to minus when they're trying? I actually don't even know. But I was minus. And so, and I had this small moment of going, how the heck did you get that so wrong? Knowing how much I wanted it and how much I'd read the rules and I'd pulled it apart, but for some reason, I misunderstood it. And I jumped on a call with the CEO, and he is just such an incredible mentor. And I'm like, please help me. And he is like, set your sights on it and do the work every single day. And you don't stop until you get there. And I got there. I qualified for one, but I didn't stop there because I wanted to take someone with me. I wasn't going all that way on my own. And I did. I qualified for 2 people in 2 months. So let me assure you, you have the ability to get this. And I'm telling you, once you've been on an incentive trip, you will never want to miss another one. You really won't. So there's a few ways to qualify for it. Do you want me to go through it with you now, or do you want me to do a separate call on that? What do you guys prefer? What do you think's better now? Now? Okay. All right. Let me just pull it up. Solex Global. So in case you don't know where to find the information, we're going to go to solexglobal.com. I will share my screen in a minute. Mexican Riviera. Oh, I think that's what it's under. We'll soon find out. Yes. All right. Oh, let me find it for you, and I'm going to share it in a sec. I know it's here because I looked it up the other day. Incentive trip 2025. Now, there's a couple of ways to win this trip. One is by, why is it not doing that? Give me a sec. Events, no. Oh, events, products, no. Give me a sec. I'm gonna find this because we're gonna go through it real quick. All right. Here we go. It is on Solex Global, but it was under the blog, not where I was looking. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me come back to you guys, and I'm going to share my screen, and then I can show you. All right, here we go. So this is on solexglobal.com. It's actually under the blog, not wherever I was trying to look. And so there's a couple of ways to win this trip. So let's firstly have a look at the trip itself. Can you guys see this okay? Can you hear it? Sort of, yeah. As long as you can see the pretty pictures. Cabo, who doesn't want to go to Cabo? That looks amazing. Doesn't it look incredible? So that is a 7-night, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to not share that. I meant to go back to the thing. That is a 7-night cruise, and it is cruising out of Los Angeles, actually, which I don't know if I'm happy about or not. But
is it in and out of LA, or is it in and out of LA?
Yeah.
So you don't stop.
You stop in Mexico along the way down, but then it comes back. Yeah.
Oh.
That was interesting, I thought, because I always just assumed, I suppose, that it would be out of Florida. So I was kind of excited to go to Florida Disney, but I'll go back to Los Angeles for sure, to Anaheim. So to win a trip for one, it's all about points, okay? So you need 15 points over your baseline. So let's say you're brand new and your baseline, you're starting at 0. You don't have anybody on board yet. It's actually that makes it actually easier, would you believe, in some ways, from this particular perspective, because what you're looking for is a number of 15 over your baseline. So if you've got 10 people already, as of September 1st last year, let's say you had 10 people, you're now going to need 25 by the end of August to qualify for the trip. Now, for 3 of the 12 months, they must be qualifying, which means they must have an order of over 100 points or more, and they must also have an order in that final month as well, which is August, because this finishes in August. Now, the other thing is too, keeping in mind, you only have till the end of June, because remember, you want them qualified for June, July, and August. Just keep that in mind. If you would like a trip for 2, you need 25 points, okay? Now, let's look at, I'm going to kind of brush over that a little bit. So you need an active QLA on a subscription of 100 or more. Obviously, the subscription for the AO scan is 112 points a month, so that well and truly qualifies as 1. So if you were to bring 15 people on between now and the end of June and they stayed and paid their subscription every month, and at the end of August, they were all still there, you've won the trip. Amazing. That is one way you can do it. You can also do it in a combination of the two of these. Personally, I feel like this is the easier way. The reason they're saying -2 and -3 and -4 and -5 or whatever is because what they're trying to show you is if you need 15 points and you hit Pearl. So if I use myself as the example, I was actually very lucky as to when I hit Pearl, because I hit it on the first, basically September was my qualified month, which was when this promotion started. So I already have 10 points in the bank, right? So I have 10 points. So if I was going for a trip for one and I need 15, I -10, I now only need 5 points to qualify. If I go Sapphire by the end of June, then I've got 20 points, which means I've still got a trip for one. I would only need 5 more points and I would have qualified for a trip for 2. Okay. So if you hit platinum, so Amanda's goal is to hit platinum. So she will have 5 points. She's already got 5 points. So if she hits platinum, she's got another 5 points. So there's 10. She only needs another 5. So ranking up, I feel like, is probably what my focus, well, it's certainly what my focus is. And there's an explanation all through this. You can have a bit of a read. But I want to show you this. Direct rank ups help everyone to qualify. So what does that mean? So again, I'll use myself as an example. So I hit Pearl. So I had my 10 points. So for me to hit Pearl, I needed somebody else to hit platinum. I already had a platinum, so you have to have 2 platinums. So because my person hit platinum, there was 4 points. So there's 14 points. I also had someone hit gold. So there's 17 points. I've also had someone hit silver, which is 19 points. And I've had a few people hit bronze. So I'm well and truly qualified for 1, and I'm almost qualified for 2. So if your focus is to build a business, I would focus on both. I would look at potentially bringing in 5 to 10 people minimum between now and the end of June. So doable, by the way. And then I would look at what you want to go to as a rank. Now, keeping in mind that in November last year, when we had Day of Discovery, Dr. Sheila Day said to me, she was gold at the time, and she said, and she has a full-time business. Man, she's super busy. She's crazy busy. She's booked out like all the time. And she wanted to hit Pearl. So I'm pretty sure it was by end of February. Yeah, it was. Oh, actually, it might have even been January. But anyway, whatever it was definitely February. She hit Pearl. She almost skipped platinum. So it is doable. That's my message to you. It's doable. So whatever rank you want to be, let's say it's platinum. So if you hit platinum and you're working with your team and you have someone hit gold, you might have a couple of people that hit silver. Well, if you've got directs, I would aim for like a couple in each, and it's really easy to hit bronze because that's just 3 people. You only need 3 people, and then you need to maintain it for the 3 months. And so it's really achievable, particularly to get to 15. It's really achievable. So go to solexglobal.com, go to the blog section, print this out, and really map out your strategy. Because if you have a wish to go and you don't track it, I can assure you, you will not get there. But if you track it, I used to have, for incentives, like if I was mapping this, I would have, I think a lot of you guys have seen it, I have pieces of cardboard all over the walls. I've got Post-it notes. I am tracking it all over the place. Now, I don't need to track this for me, but I'm happy to track it for you guys. So if any of you are super serious about coming with me on this, I will help you get there. But you have to do the work, right? And that's why we're here. So that's really cool. but I would love nothing more than to have you guys coming with me on this trip. Like, seriously, it's going to be phenomenal. So, and look, I know some people have said, oh, I don't like cruises or whatever. That's fine. Take the payout. Come on a vacation anyway. You know, go to the States or go somewhere else. Take the payout and go somewhere else. You know, who would say no to a free holiday? Not me. So it's super doable. Any questions about that? That it's definitely a lot easier to understand, I feel, than well, clearly than last time, because apparently I didn't understand it last time. So that's a really good thing. Okay, so thank you, Amanda, for sharing your goals. Feel free to pop your goals in the chat as well. If you don't feel like you want to say it out loud, that's okay.
Hey,
But
Beck, sorry to interrupt your flow.
Oh, that's right. I lost you. I was like, where did she go? Oh, there you are. Tell me.
So the Mexicana trip, if you need 15, but they have to be active now, right? So for April, May, June. So instead it's super achievable, but if you're starting from scratch,
June, July, August.
Okay. So you've got a couple of months and then you keep them active. Yep. Awesome.
Yep. And look, it could be that, let's say they're buying product. They could buy product April, June, and August. So it could be every second month that they're buying product. That's okay too.
Yeah.
You just have to increase your baseline. And if you don't know where your baseline is or how to find that out, it's in your back office at the top of the banner.
Okay,
it'll
cool.
actually tell you your baseline, and it'll tell you your baseline for one person, and it will tell you your baseline for two people.
Right. So they just have to have been signed up by the end of June and then active for the
July and August.
August, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure. And also too, like if you're looking at, and if you're building that way and you've even got one or two people, you know, working to build with you, you will also get points. Obviously, if you're bringing people in, you'll be getting points anyway by ranking up and your people ranking up as well. So that's cool. For those of you who didn't see our call the other night, we did a call on the think drops and a strategy around that. So, you know, it's not even necessarily just with the scanner. You can also be qualifying in other ways. So go and check that call out. It's on our Frequency Soul Collective chat. It's also in the Frequency Soul Collective Education Hub. So that's also a really good way to strategize getting to Mexican Riviera. I have been saying Punta Cana for the last 12 months, like religiously. So to get my head around that's gone now and I've got a whole new thing to say is weird. It's so weird. Okay, so what we're going to talk about next. So goals is really important. So, you know, I would suggest that and 100% all good if you don't want to kind of say it out loud here, but after our call tonight, or for those watching the recording, if you could please, yeah, right, where is everyone's goals? Please also put it in the chat. Please put it in our Frequency Soul Collective Blitz chat, because not putting it out there, it's like me before saying about the wellness center. It does actually scare the crap out of me, because it's like a huge, like it's an enormous project. But if I don't start to put it out there to become accountable for it, yeah, it's a bit scary, but I love that. Replace your full-time income. Yes, absolutely. And that's such a huge why as well. You know, losing your job and the mandates and losing that full-time income, and then being able to replace that, not having to go back in and get a boss. Like, I love that for sure. And, you know, I'm here to help you all the way with that one. So, you know, pop it in the chat here, but please also pop it in the chat so that everybody, we can see and we can go back at the end of April as well, you know, to say, hey, you know, this is how far you've come, or this is how far I've come in that period of time. So mind sync, super important. Please be doing that every single day. Listening to the 10X book is really important as well. Gold, yes, Bronny, love that. Woohoo, Mexico, here we come. I just want as many of us on that Mexican cruise as I possibly can. It would just be so fun doing it all together. Who wants to come to bingo with me? Does anyone else like to play bingo? Yes! See? It's not just me. I love it. I love bingo. So fun. Do you know a fun fact about me? I used to be a bingo caller. Did you know that? I did. Can't you just pictured it though, didn't you? And you're like, I totally, yeah, Bronny's like,
Lucky Legs 11. I can just see it. Yeah.
I was about to say, you totally see me calling bingo. Yeah, it was just gold.
I used to work
everything.
in the pokies counting money. That counts.
Oh, there you go. I bet you counted more money of it going into the pokies than coming out.
Do the 3 a.m. stock take.
Oh my gosh. When we were in Punta Cana, because they've got the big casino there, right? We only went to the casino one night because, you know, nobody wins anything. And we walked in and I was with Dave Kimberley. You know, many of you probably know Dave, Becky Coots' husband. And I'm like, come on, Dave, we're going to pokies. And he turns around, he's like, what? And I'm like, oh, hang on. Oh, you're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Slots. Can we go play the slots? He's like, yeah. I'm sure he was like, what the heck are pokies? That's hilarious. Okay, so listening or reading 10X by Grant Cardone, super important. If you've already done that, Atomic Habits is your next book. Social media, also really important. So be really mindful what you're putting on social media. I'm not going to go through too much of that tonight because I did do a lot of that on Tuesday night's call. So either if you've seen that call, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen that call, please go back and watch it. I talk a bit about social media on there. I build a lot of my business on social media. I don't do it on Instagram, not because for any other reason that I'm hopeless at Instagram. You know, I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning. I am learning. And if you watch the weekly call, which is our next point, if you watch the weekly call, you will see that there's a constant top enroller lately, and she is getting all of her clients and customers through Instagram. And she is beating everybody hands down every single week. So I will put
Beck, just out of curiosity,
yeah.
What social media do you use then?
I use Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I know a lot of people say, oh, Facebook's, you know, gone. But do you know what I've done probably well over a period of time is actually creative relationships. So people know, like, and trust me. Well, I'm sure not all of them like me, but the ones that don't, I just block them. Or I unfollow them, you know. And so when I say, hey, this is an amazing product, people will listen, because if you scroll through my Facebook, I share my wins, I share my highs, I share my lows. I'm very real about who I am and what I do. One of my girlfriends tagged me on a post last night. Someone was asking, where's there a really good day spa on the Gold Coast? And my girlfriend's tagged me and gone, oh, Beck McQuilty will know the answer to that. I'm like, really? Is that what I'm known for? But I totally did know the best day spa on the Gold Coast. And so, you know, just things like that. It's like, what are you known for? So when I do put a post on about a product, or I put a post on about like educating about specific things, people will tend to pay attention. On Frequency Soul Collective page, you probably would have noticed that we did a post the other day on inflammation. I did that as a bit of a beta tester just to see the response that we would get. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was a really good response. So those sorts of posts really work. And the reason that they work is because we're not in that group just trying to sell out to everybody all of the time. We are out there to educate. We're there to put testimonials in there and share the wins of what people are experiencing, which is really cool. I was going to tell you though, who this is and show you their social media. And can I say there is, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, there is nothing special about this chick's social media. There really freaking isn't.
I don't get how she gets so many from that. I've been on Instagram for years. How does she do it?
She's, you know what her key is? She's consistent and she's built her audience. When I first started following her, which was, I'm pretty sure the rest of them are probably Solex people from the last time, but everyone's going, what is Caitlin Simmons doing? So you spell it Katelyn Simmons, Simmons official. So Caitlin Simmons official. I think she's a really good one to go and follow for the mere fact that what she's doing works. And I think it works because she's consistent and she's posting pretty much every single day.
I also think it's the color and
Yeah.
the actual content. It's
Yep.
not, it's aimed at a very broad demographic. Young
Yes.
people would look at it and be like, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like the color of the psychology of the color that she's using as well.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what's really funny about that? I had someone that I had doing my social media setup and website and everything years ago. And she said to me, what colors do you want? And they were the colors I wanted. And she was like, absolutely not. You are not using those colors. Those colors don't work. And I mean, look at this. Like, these colors work. I would hate to see, or I would love to see, I'm not quite sure, how much money she is making like on a monthly basis from the work that she's doing, because she is solidly enrolling people every week. So have a look at her social media. And that's where, don't take advice from someone who poses to be an expert that's not doing the do. Go and look at social media like this and go, what's she doing that's working? Because she's really motivated me. Like, I don't even check Instagram. Like, people send me messages and it's like 3 months and I'm like, oh, you know, I just don't, but I do now. And I've started to post not daily, but every few days. And I'm going to get more consistent with it. It's important not to go too broad with too many different platforms, but I kind of just wanted to dabble with Instagram to see what could happen from there, you know? So really good people to follow are the ones who are actually doing it, getting a huge result. And she, I can assure you, is one of them.
Does she have a full-time job as well?
I don't, well, I think she's, and whether I heard this right or not, I'm not sure. I'm not starting rumors, but I think she's pregnant.
Pregnant, yeah.
Yeah. So I think she's got a practice. I'm pretty sure she has a practice, but I think she's due to have a baby like in the next month or so. I think I heard that in Punta Cana. But yeah, her social media is like, she's got over 26,000 followers now. You probably can't see that. Is it too glaring?
And the thing is, like, I don't even think she's been a practitioner for very long.
No.
So that just shows you don't have to know everything to actually get people.
I agree 100%. 100%. So being consistent, I can assure you, is 100% the key. It really is. So being consistent, not only on social media, but being consistent in your business and showing up every single day. Making sure that you're listening to the Solex calls every week so that you're engaged. And, you know, like you say, Amanda, when you're busy working or whatever, like I've had back-to-back calls today. To be honest, I didn't have the time today well, look, firstly, I thought it was Wednesday, but I also didn't have the time to get on the call. And I was like, someone posted it and I was like, I was like, oh, shivers, it's Thursday. Goodness gracious. There you go. So when I was getting dinner ready, I pressed play on YouTube and I was cutting up the veggies and doing all the things, and I've listened to the whole call. You know, it's really important that you listen to that every single week, because you know what's funny is that in the Day of Discovery training, we watched about the multicasting, but then they replayed it on the call today. And I have been doing the multicasting. I keep going to say casting. And I do it almost every day. And I'm not going to lie, I had no idea how to actually save the group. So every day, yep, Patrice is the same. You're like, you've done that, haven't you? Yeah, same. Me too. And I'm like, so going the next day, I'm like, where's my group gone? It's not here. So I'd go and find everybody again, and I'd add them in, and I'd do their flowers, and I'd put in their anyway, just watching the call today, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Finally now, because I knew I had to go back and watch it to because I knew he'd told us, but I've been away and come back since then, so I couldn't remember. So there's always things that you will pick up. But do you know what? It's also really good to have that Australian and New Zealand presence for us. Did anyone get to watch the call yet today? Yep. Julie, did you watch the call? No. Oh, you might want to watch the call.
It's a repeat.
Oh, it's not.
I've seen it before, so he must have done it at the day at DOD. The multicast bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
that's
just the recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, hang on, I'm going to go to it. See, because this is what happens when you miss the call, you see. Wait, I'll show you. Wait for it. Now I just actually want to check that I've got the right.
But he also says you can do dogs and objects, but you can't.
Well, I don't think so either, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Something strange. When on Day of Discovery, I did see pets in somewhere I'd not seen it before. When we first clicked on around that time, the mind sync, but it's not been there since. So it must be something coming. Yeah. So it must have been a glitch. So I did, because I've tried to find it since, and yeah. So it must be something that's going to be added in there. But he has said that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to do every room in my house all at the same time.
That's cool.
Yes, definitely. I just don't want to make a liar of myself, so I'm just checking this. Hang on. You ready? Wait. Hang on. I don't even know if you guys can hear this. I've got to go back.
Herbal combos. So
Can
I'd
you
love
hear
to
this?
take that to the next level. I'm loving Think with Krill with Blue.
You can hear that?
Within a few minutes, I was focused on it. Wow. Game changer for me.
Ready?
That is awesome. Love to hear that.
Wait.
Hey, you're getting a bottle of Think Drops.
Wait, ready?
All right, next one. Got a couple. This is Julie Gibbons.
Jules, yes. I was like, I wonder if she's seen the call yet. She hasn't.
No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I've been listening to all the other stuff today and been busy. So, cool for me. Really wanted. That's what I thought. I want Pink Drops. Thank you very much.
Yes, perfect. Good job. That's when I was like, hang on a minute. And when I was listening, I was like, oh, Jules, that's amazing. But that's what we should be doing, is like commenting every week on the call, so that, you know, let's get us winning some of these things. You know, every time Paige Wheeler comes out, they go, Paige, and I'm like, yes, Paige Haynes, and then they go, Wheeler. I'm like, no. Not that I'm not happy for Paige Wheeler, but, you know, it's just always good to be able to cheer our tribe on. So when you're on those calls, if you're watching the replay, please comment on them. Like this week's is how you're using multicast, so, or what you're going to use multicast for. So I think as a collective, particularly for our Blitz team, us doing those actions and being involved is really important. So please go on, watch the call when you get the chance. And absolutely, you know, I know you've got to prioritize different things. Sometimes I don't get to see the call till the weekend, but I always just try to watch it before the Tuesday, because I know that if I comment before Tuesday morning, our time, then I'm still in the draw to win a prize. That's my theory. So making sure that you're using your business planner and also your business tracker. So they're really important to be using every single day. Awesome, brilliant, brilliant. To be able to fill that out and keep yourself accountable and see how much you have or haven't done. You know, if you look at my page yesterday, it's actually really funny because I worked heaps yesterday, but I hardly got any of it down on paper. Whereas today, I wrote out this morning when I got home what my appointments were, because they were all in my diary, what I needed to do. But one thing, Jessica Zavios, who she came up with this idea and then I helped her create it. One thing that she says is whatever you didn't get done on this day, turn the page and write it down on the next day. Plan your day for tomorrow, tonight. So always have in your mind what you need. Like there's a couple of people that I scanned today, but I haven't had the chance to go back to them and say, hey, let's book a call in so that I can go through your results. Okay. So my goal is I want to solidly bring on 4 people this month. I know that's probably not a huge goal, but that's for me. And then my focus is going to be on helping everybody else get to the Mexican Riviera that really wants to get there. So for those of you who really want to run, you know, it's possible. It's really possible. When it comes to like daily action, I think it's really important to know the difference between, and I almost don't like these terms because they are kind of network marketing terms of the income producing activity and non-income producing activity. But the reality of it is that just is what it is. So income producing activity is adding people into Facebook. So whether that be finding Facebook groups that you align with and adding people that can then become your audience. So adding them into our, you know, building a relationship with them, of course, but adding people that you already know into our Frequency Soul Collective community. We have, I think, a couple of thousand people in there now, but we have hundreds of QLAs. So invite your entire community. Like you can copy and paste a message and say, hey, we've got this really cool group. If you see an invite from me, it's called Frequency Soul Collective. This is what it's about. You'll get to see heaps of really cool testimonials, heaps of education, blah, blah, blah. Would love for you to jump on and be a part of it. We sometimes do giveaways, which we haven't done for a while. We probably need to do. And so just letting people know that you're inviting them to the group. So let's see if we can get to, how many people are in the group now? Let's have a look. Let's set a Blitz goal. We can do this. We can do this. Oh, there's 1,400 people. Let's see if we can get to, trying to see if I can see an exact number. Let's see if we can get to like 1,500. So that's like only another 100 people. Let's see if we can do that by next week's call. Do you reckon we can do that? I reckon we can. Hey, we can do anything. That's cool. Awesome. All right. So 1,500 people on Frequency Soul Collective. So inviting people to that. And then as you see posts come up, if those people are in there, let's say, for example, you've got a friend that constantly gets migraines and your friend Sally always has migraines. You've added her into the group and then Amanda comes in and goes, oh my gosh, I had this client. She had migraine issues and this is how we've been running frequency or whatever. And this is how much she's feeling better and she doesn't get migraines anymore. Then you're going to tag your friend Sally and say, oh my gosh, Sally, you need to read this testimonial. This is you, babe. And just plant that seed and people will watch, you know. So add tag is really important. And tag people as you go. You don't have to tag everybody. When it's an announcement, I will tag everyone. And every time I do it, I'm like, it's, you know, those messages that come up on Facebook, like, why is that tag everybody message there? So, but hey, they agreed to be in the group, so that's all good. And then so finding new connections, letting them see who you are on Facebook and what it is that you do. Like, is your message really clear? I know that my message needs to be clearer because there's a lot of people out there that probably don't know or don't really understand what I do. So that I know I need to improve on. So adding people, getting more people into your awareness, scanning people is really important. So if you want work to do, go and do a post about inner voice. Go and do a post about inner voice and say, I actually just feel the need to gift it out, and go and gift out like 10 inner voice. And that'll keep you busy for a while. And then get them to listen to their inner voice for a week. Some will immediately be like, what else does this do? I want to know more, whatever. Others will be happy to go away for a week and listen to it. Then ask them to come back and give you a testimonial. When they do that, put it on the Frequency Soul Collective group so people can start to see the power of the inner voice scan. And then move people to that next stage, whether it be an Alpha 3 pass or doing a full scan. You tend to know where people are at, right? So doing that, sending them information. If you didn't see the call yet today, you will soon see that there is a new intro video as well, and they are making a few more of them. So there's a new intro video. You can send them that as well. So following people up is also really important. The way you track the numbers of who you're talking to is in the actual smaller book, which is the business tracker. This is where you write down who you're talking to, who they are, what you've sent them. I always write in the follow-up part the date and anything like that. Here I've got like kinesiologist because she's a kinesiologist. And then the follow-up as well. So you just name them, because I can guarantee you will go through your list and be like, let's say you just continue on and you keep going. Then you go back 2 or 3 weeks later, you're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that person. And that's not a bad thing. Just go back and then follow them up. Hey, I know that I did an inner voice scan for you. How have you been? Blah, blah, blah. I can guarantee you, I was saying it on a call today to someone, it's not that people will say no to you because they don't want what you have to offer. It just has to come into energetic alignment for people. That's all that it is. And it might not be right now, but it might be. You know, you could come across someone who's really struggling, that really needs a solution, and you could be giving them that solution, because I can assure you, if you don't tell people about this, somebody else will. You know, product, when we get momentum on this is going to fly. And we are just at this very beginning stages of really, it's starting to get known now. People are starting to be aware. And we want to make sure that our market for Australia, you know, that we're really helping our people. And same for New Zealand as well. So reaching out to new people, scanning new people, following up, and signing people on. So if you go and scan 10 people, I would think the chances are that you would be signing up at the very least 3 of them. It is honestly, and I don't mean this in a salesy way, it is a numbers game. All of the non-income producing activity stuff is things like training, watching the call, researching. All of those things are important, but they're not going to bring the income, and they're not going to grow your business. The only thing that will grow your business is connecting with new people. There are so many people that don't know about this. I've just brought on a new naturopath, and he said to me, Rebecca, if this does a quarter of what you're telling me, he said, I'm happy. He said, I can't believe it. He said, I spent tens of thousands of dollars on another machine that doesn't do a quarter of what you're even telling me it does. Yours does. And I can do it on that. That's crazy. So we really are sitting on a gold mine with what we have, in the sense of so many people needing what we have. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. So that is kind of all from me tonight. I really just kind of wanted to set out really clearly what to do. It's all in your business planner anyway. If you have not printed that and you're not using it, I assure you, your whole business will change when you do. Use it every single day that you're doing your business. I don't work Sundays. You will never see a Sunday one of these filled out. That is just 100%. It's always been since I've been in this business. One of my boundaries that if we had a call or something, look, of course I would help people out, but as a golden rule, I would generally not work on a Sunday. So you don't work on a Sunday. Be very mindful of the times that you're working in your business and be very intentional in the time that you're doing it. Don't make it a in the pockets of your time thing, because then you feel like you're working all day, every day, and you don't want that. There was something else that I was going to share. So we have a call this Saturday morning with Tammy Ward. So if you guys are wanting to learn more about the scanner, if you have someone that's really close to joining and they just want to learn a bit more, you can invite them along. I can get her to talk a bit about the business. It'd be predominantly about how she uses the scanner, all different, like we're just going to pick her brain basically for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then on the 15th of this month, we also have an opportunity call for practitioners and energetic healers. That, if it was me, is where I would be reaching out, connecting, communicating with as many holistic healers and practitioners as I knew and invite them to that call. Don't forget, when you're inviting someone to a call, we would love to think we could send someone an invitation and they'd show up. It doesn't happen. You have to do a lot of work to get somebody on a call. So send them the invitation the day before, remind them the day of, remind them again, and 10 or 5 minutes before the call, I would resend them the link to jump on the call if they've said yes and they've committed. And then I would always make sure that you are on the call as well. If you invite 20 people, you might have 10 people say yes, you might have 5 people show up. And that's great. If you have 5 people show up, you go and scan 5 people, the chances are you'll probably bring on at least 2 of them. They're good statistics. It's worth your time. So any questions? See if I've missed any questions in the chat. Yeah, that's really interesting. Amanda saying that in one of Caitlin's posts, she says that she's been in Solex for 2.5 years, but yet we're only just seeing her now. I don't know whether she's got like a good VA, maybe doing a lot of her social media stuff. That's another thing. I'm actually talking to a VA agency at the moment. Not that I don't love my VA, but my VA that I have can only do certain things. And I really want to hone it in on social media because the proof is in the pudding, right? So if anybody wants information on that as well, I've interviewed one company. I'm interviewing another group on Tuesday. Please just shout out. Always happy to give you that information as well. So yeah, you could honestly, you could be having, you think she's busy on social media. The chances are she's got someone doing it for her and she's just doing the sale. So think about that. You do not have to be good at everything. Believe me. You want to see how you don't have to be good at everything? Ask me to do like a social media tile for Instagram. You'll see very quickly that you do not. You don't have to delegate that stuff. Just outsource. So, because I ain't good at that. I'm really not. So,
Instagram's changing. You can't get what you used to get out of it. You have to keep changing the way you do it.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a Facebook post. It's so different now.
And that's the thing. This is what I like about these VA companies is that they are up with all of that and they're teaching their VAs what the algorithms are, what the things are to do on Facebook and Instagram or which on all the platforms, TikTok, the whole lot of them. So yeah, it's huge potential if you're willing to invest in it. And to be honest, it's actually not that much money. There is a minimum per week, but hey, I think it's worthwhile if you are willing to invest in it. Give it 3 months and see if it makes a difference. So if anyone wants that information, please just reach out. Even just put it in our Blitz chat because the chances are there's probably a few of you that want that info. So I've had that one meeting and I'll have the other one Tuesday. So don't know the other pricing yet, but I can always give you the pricing that I got today. So yeah. All right. Well, I will love you all and leave you all, and I will see you next Thursday night, but I will also see you Saturday morning for our call with Tammy. Good luck with your journey this week. Please celebrate all of your wins in the chat. Also ask questions. Please be interactive in that chat as well. We really want to raise the energy and cheer everybody along. So yeah. All right, ladies, thank you for joining me tonight. And I'll see you all soon. Good night.